Conservation Commission meeting. It's at 6:07. It's the Old Town Hall, at 1111 Somerset Avenue. Okay, this is being audio and video recorded and on YouTube. Would everyone stand, please, for the pledge of allegiance?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, our first item on the agenda is to review, discuss, act. It's a hearing that has been continued by Carl Rebello of Bell Farm Estates. Lisa, you?
Yes, we received a continuance request
Okay,
yesterday.
they've asked for a continuance. Is there a motion here to continue?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Our next item is a notice of intent. It too is a hearing that has been continued. It's an application from Dayton Boat Works, also known as Shaw's Boatyard at 86 Main Street. Lisa?
Yep, they requested a continuance to our next meeting as well, 9/18/25 will be the meeting they'll be
Okay,
at.
is there a motion to continue the hearing?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Our next item is a notice of intent application by Tyler Gooch at 553 Center Street, map 13, lot 42A, to demo existing trailer home and construct a new 4-bay garage and associated parking, utilities, and septic system. A portion of the work falls in the jurisdictional wetland resources areas. File number 17527. Okay, actually, we can see it up here pretty well as well. Okay, would you give your name to the,
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It's Evan Watson, W Engineering, representing the applicant, Tyler Gooch, who's here with us in the audience, along with her brother, Brad Staples. We are at 553 Center Street. Get that right, or is it 533? I always say it wrong. 553. Thank you, 553 Center Street. At the top of the page is Center Street. On this side of the page is the Segregated River. And behind, off the page, is where Brad's house is. Right now, there is an existing gravel drive that goes through this property towards the back. And there is a existing trailer home, and there's an existing single-family home here. Resource areas, off the edge of the page, we have this yellow line is the 100-foot buffer zone to the BVW. This purple line is the 200-foot riverfront offset from the Segregated River. And this dark blue line is the flood zone associated with elevation 14 and below. So the plan is to remove the existing trailer and construct a 4-bay garage building that would basically be used as a flex contractor building. We would install associated septic system, parking, drainage, etc. And we would leave the existing driveway that goes back to Brad's house. So all of the work is up gradient of the existing gravel driveway, and only a small area is within the 200 riverfront. And then we would also leave the existing house and garage here to remain. The lot was created before 1997, so I think DEP did comment for you guys to check to make sure that's the case, so I did bring a copy of the plan that created the lot in 1977. So I'm here to answer any questions that you might have, and hopefully I can answer them and see where we can go from there. We're also about to file, we did file for a site plan review with the planning board, but the staff had some questions that kind of gave us a little speed bump, so we got that all squared away at the PAC meeting on Tuesday, so we'll be filing for the special permit next week.
Okay.
But it won't affect the design, it was just some paperwork hiccups.
All right, so certainly we have to have a stormwater review on this. We'd bring in Weston and Sampson to do the review, so that would require a 53G. Then, while that's in the process, you would have time to get whatever you need if there's a zoning issue or something else, and we could probably complete everything by next month. At least, the way I see it. Anyone else have questions or comments?
One comment that I would have, Mr. Chairman, is just thinking back to another recent filing we had where there was a planning board component and a conservation component.
Yeah.
Weston Sampson gave us a peer review that was divided into two phases. Phase A, which is going to address like all the stormwater and the matters that concern the planning board, and then the other phase checks for compliance with the bylaw and the Wetland Protection Act. So rather than get a proposal from Weston and Sampson just for this, I just want to be mindful of the resident, not looking for more money that ends up being necessary, because I don't want to duplicate stormwater components to a 53G. So
We want to be efficient.
yeah, exactly. We want to be efficient and respectful.
On your behalf and also for us. I mean, we don't want to delay anything beyond expectations, and maybe this is already delaying it beyond your expectation.
Yep.
But,
So just to talk about the
we want to do it
stormwater.
right, and if there is a problem, we can get it settled in the meantime.
Sure, no, I like that.
I just want to say something real quick. Since the PACT meeting Tuesday, I did request a proposal from Weston and Sampson. So we do have it, and I provided it to Evan today.
Oh, I didn't see it.
Okay, so
Resend it, yeah.
they are going to come with a price on that.
They gave us a price.
Okay, so you already know that then.
No, he
I haven't
doesn't.
seen it yet, no.
He said he has,
Well, Lisa will,
yeah, it's 5,400.
And Lisa, do we know if that's going to kind of like dovetail with what the planning board is looking for?
It's
too?
separate. She has to request her own because this wasn't filed at the same time.
Got it.
Okay.
So,
I think we should be okay because talking to the building inspector, the amount of work that we're doing here is less than the amount that requires a stormwater permit, a separate stormwater permit. So, and the report that I gave you is comprehensive. It addresses everything in the stormwater, in the local bylaw, as well as the DEP stormwater regulations. So everything that I submitted that they took a look at should be comprehensive there. So,
okay.
but that makes sense. Yep.
Okay. I don't have any other questions. Anyone in the audience have questions? Okay, then what we'll do is we'll continue this and hopefully wind it up for next meeting.
Evan,
which
I
is,
have
September.
one question. What percentage of the riverfront are you using?
I don't have that. It's in the report. I know
Okay.
that for a fact, and it might be a little bit more than 10%, but it's less than it's either 10% or 5,000 square feet because it's a smaller lot.
Yeah.
So it's less than that. It's less than 5,000 square feet,
Okay.
and it's all outside the 100-foot river. I didn't even call it 100-foot because it's off the property. So.
Yeah, it's in the outer.
Yeah,
So then, I also have not walked the site yet, which I'm probably gonna end up doing with Megan from Weston and Sampson, but all the flags are present?
They're still there, okay.
You what?
The flags are still up.
Oh, great.
Yep.
Sounds good.
All right, perfect.
Chairman, are we looking for a motion to accept the proposal? for
Yeah, I'm just looking, our next meeting is September 18.
Okay.
Yes, a motion to continue the hearing.
So moved.
Is there a second? Second. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Oh, yeah, I found out from the assessor's office, and thank you. Evan, on this one, was the legal ad paid
Yes, and I thought you got an email for that.
today?
You did, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I guess, we're turning over to Hunters Hill now?
Yes.
Okay, next on the agenda is a request for determination of applicability from Hunters Hill. It's lot 73H, map 21, lot 73H, for construction of a single-family home, associated driveway grading, and clearing activities. Okay.
Do you want to open all of them up at the same time, or can we do that? Or, because I have one sheet that shows all the,
Oh,
everything together, if you want to do that, or if you want to take them separate, that's fine too.
Well, let's see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, oh, they're all 5 RDAs.
5 RDAs.
can we do
and
the
one notice.
RDAs together and then
Yeah.
the NOI? Okay. That would be better, yeah.
Yeah, all right.
So, I'm gonna just provide them with copies of the plan. So which one are you starting with, Evan?
We can start with 73.
Okay.
I have a copy of the individual plans here as well.
Okay, just, you know,
I wanna put them in
pretty sure
front
I
of
know
you
where
guys.
this is going, but if you want to just do it, and then we can just take separate, we should take separate votes on each one.
Oh, definitely, yeah, please do.
This is 73. There's multiple copies, and he went to the time and the cost of printing them, so here you go.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Very good, so I'll show on the overall plan first, so we know where we're at. I don't know if you guys have been out to Hunters Hill lately, but if you come up Clubhouse Drive, the clubhouse will be on your left.
Yep.
And there's the new houses going up on the right. This is the last one on the right before you hit the bend, lot 73. So this is a smaller lot, but there's a wetland resource area across the street. So there's really no impact at all to anything, so we didn't file a notice of intent. Lisa thought it'd be appropriate to file a request since the resource area it's on the other side of a street that's built, that has drainage in it and everything else, so there's really no chance of anything happening to it. We have the proposed house and the roof infiltrators, like on every other lot, and a little bit of erosion control just on the side there, to prevent anything from getting into the street.
I see are you gonna use matting? Is it like definitely you're gonna use matting or only if you need to?
No, that's like optional. So this came from the overall subdivision plan, where I think it was Niche at the time asked us to develop like a per lot plan. So sometimes if you're building things like in the spring before the grass grows and the like roof leaders are like really like, you know, causing an issue there, they'll put down some of that Curlex mat or something, but I don't anticipate We haven't really needed a lot of it out there. The grass has been growing great, and things have been going fine.
Can I ask another question?
You certainly may.
Okay, so the goal is to get an order of conditions or get a negative determination for these
Mm-hmm.
in the next couple weeks, and then you're gonna apply for building permit, erosion controls are gonna be put in, plaques are gonna be put in. Lee, do you think you're gonna try to stabilize all of these by the end of the growing season, or that's kind of pushing it?
It's early yet, it's not,
Because the house is not up yet, so
Yeah,
how
I
long?
was gonna say undoubtedly pushing it, yeah,
Yeah.
that would be done in conjunction with the house being constructed.
Yeah, so they'll probably be constructed in the spring, so these are probably gonna be exposed over the winter. So the option of the erosion control matting is
Yeah, that's
probably
good.
gonna be a feasible option if needed on a few of them. I would say just like, make sure you have some straw on hand too.
They have pallets of the straw wattles and
Yeah,
the blankets and things that keep it by the model home.
yeah, and Brandon's been really good about asking questions, so. Is it Brendan or Brandon?
Brendan,
Oh, Brendan.
Right.
Okay, he's been good. But that's all the questions I have.
okay.
So we can take them one at a time if you want to.
Okay, so at the moment, we're on 73H, correct? Okay. Is there any questions from the audience? Okay, do I have a motion then on, for a negative determination on lot 73H?
Sorry? Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, the second lot is
Want to try 63?
R39.
Oh, 39, okay.
So can you guys just fold these up so we can put them back?
Okay.
Thanks.
So this next group of lots, as you come around the bend, it's a straight portion of Clubhouse Drive that then comes to the end before it goes around. And there is a wetland resource area right in the middle here. And we get a buffer zone on 39. We have 3 lots across the street. And we have 1 lot here that's within 50 feet.
What lot is that on the right, that one there?
That's lot 38. That's the one that we filed the notice of intent for.
Okay,
Yep.
okay, all right, so we'll come back to that one then.
Yeah, well, we can do that one at the end. So it's the same plan, same details as on all the other sheets. We are proposing to put erosion control at the property line here. We have the same thing to, if there's any catch bases nearby to keep silt sacks and to have the erosion control matting if necessary. And again, it's pretty cut and dry here. The 50-foot is off the property, so we're outside of that, and then the limited clearing is the property line, and we'll put up the erosion control.
With the posts and the placards?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I did indicate proposed placards in 3 spaces.
Yeah, okay, we see that. Okay. Does anyone here have any questions on the members?
Feels fairly straightforward to me.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Anyone in the audience have any questions? Okay, is there a motion on lot R39?
Propose a motion for a negative determination of applicability under category 3 of the RDA due to the suspected minimal impact.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Let's go to lot R63. That's on the other side of the street?
It's over here,
Yep.
so. So again, same plan, and, you know, the house that we're showing is the square. This represents the maximum, if you took all the houses together and basically put them on top of one another and drew that square, that's what that represents. So, when they actually come in and file for the building permit, it will be within the limits of that box, and it'll be smaller, so. Just why you're wondering why we're building the same house on every single lot.
So these are just not to exceed this size, basically?
Yes.
Okay, any questions from anyone? Anyone in the audience have questions?
No need for placards on this.
Yeah, no, because it's got the driveway. Okay, do we have a motion for a negative?
Propose a motion for a determination of negative applicability into category 3?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, lot R64. That's next door to that one,
It's
correct?
just, yep, next door, just to the left, right here. Same situation where the buffer zone is just, it's across the street, so there's really
Yeah.
no way that we're gonna affect that at all.
Okay,
Same details, silt sacks and the catch basins. No erosion control plan for the actual site construction, but.
well, the roadway is your,
Exactly. Yeah,
okay.
and no placards either.
Any questions up here for Dave or Paul?
No, I'm good.
Anyone from the audience have questions? Okay, is there a motion for a negative determination?
So moved into category 3 due to minimal impact? Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Lot R65.
Also right next
Okay.
door.
And it's exactly the same as the other,
Same detail, same concern here, it's just everything goes to the road.
yep,
We'll have silt sacks in the catch basins if they're exposed. No placards planned or silt fence for this lot.
any questions up here? Any questions from the audience? Is there a motion for a negative determination?
So moved, category 3?
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. All right, now we go to the notice of intent on lot,
38.
okay, wait a minute. Okay, R65. Now you got, there's another number in here, R38 as well.
That's the notice of intent, the 38.
Starting to feel like playing Battleship up here or something.
Okay. Okay, so your red is the 50-foot?
That's the 50-foot. The 25-foot is off the property.
Yeah,
We don't have any buildings within the 50-foot. We do have silt fence planned for along the edge here. There was some work that was done here as part of the overall subdivision. There's a catch basin that was planned here to pick up water that's flowing this way. And then that's it. We're gonna bring up the house, erosion control in between any work in the resource area, and then silt sacks in the catch basins, and then erosion control blankets if we need it. And then we indicate proposed placards along this edge.
I'm sorry, that was placards you were talking about?
Yes, yep.
Yeah, okay.
So has this been cleared? Or was it cleared a few years ago?
Portions of it would have had to been cleared, yeah, to get this in over here. And it was definitely cleared before we showed up, you know, years ago.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you get a file number?
We did, yes.
Oh, good. What is it? You know? must have just come today. Or yes?
Came yesterday, last night, I think.
Oh, all right. Great.
What is the number?
017-0529.
0529.
29.
Okay, any questions?
I have a question.
Okay, well,
Not about this one, but just general, like, do you know when you're filing your next set?
For a while.
Yeah, the next set will be the loop part of Bayberry Road.
Middle of January?
So that won't be for a while yet.
Yeah, so it's not gonna be until we get up around this back, and that road isn't constructed yet, so.
okay,
Yeah, if you look at the locus, here,
So
okay,
the next set will be some lots up in here, but this road isn't built yet, so that will likely be built around springtime when they get into here and start working on that, so sometime over the winter we'll do those.
okay.
And then I'm also wondering how the basins are doing.
Awesome. Every time I go down there, there's
ducks swimming around in them, and fish and turtles and. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's actually gonna work out well when the, everything gets tied in for like, to go for a walk around the basin and things. It's turned out pretty nice.
Dave and I were doing inspections there, and it happened to be like 98 that day. We started walking towards it. I wasn't taking my car out yet. And we turned around.
Oh, you could have gone for a swim.
We'll have to go again another time.
Do you have any questions? Okay, any questions from the audience? Okay, now this is different from the other five. The other five were requests to determine if we had to regulate it, whereas the notice of intent, we will do some regulating items to control because they are closer to the wetlands. So we will have some insurance in our documentation to either assist them as they go along or to give suggestions or possibly as it says, orders of conditions. So we would direct them so that it's done according to state and local bylaws. Okay, is there a motion to close the hearing and to issue an order of conditions?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
All right, so I have 21 days to issue those. I probably won't take the full 3 weeks, just so you know.
Let us know and Brendan can come pick them up.
Okay,
No need to mail them.
sounds good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we have several enforcement orders that we are going to be discussing to see what action and what direction people are going to satisfy the enforcement order. The first one is at 2371 County Street. Okay, Lisa, I guess you're not ready yet.
Well, I mean, you know as much as I do about this one, so you might as well start if you want.
Okay, this violation started over, close to 3 years now? Am I
Yeah.
accurate on that?
Pretty accurate.
When inactivity was noticed as far as cleaning up the property, fines were issued. Then some activity began to develop with the acceptance of a restoration program, and now it is the work which was approved for restoration, and the promise that it would be done was not kept, so fines have been reinstated. Is there someone here to discuss this lot? Okay. It will continue. Pleasant Street, 2470 Pleasant Street.
Greg Drake is here from Outback.
Okay.
Hi Greg, how you doing? Good. Are the owners here?
Yes.
Oh, great. Hi Eric, how are you?
I have copies of this plan too, if you guys want
Yeah. can you
copies to
give-
look at.
Can you, yeah, I only have one over here, so,
I got three.
thank you.
Thank you.
All right, I'm Greg from Outback Engineering, representing the owner, Eric Bott. At the request of the commission, through the enforcement order, the applicant is proposing to mitigate a section of wetland that was filled in by the previous owner. And the fill is located actually both on his property and the property to the west. And we did get this plan to the owner and had him take a look at it. I didn't hear a response. I don't know if Lisa heard from him, but he, I talked to him and he seemed okay with everything. I figured he'd come to the meeting if he had any concerns, so. So the plan is to remove all the fill and excavate it out to the proper grade and dispose of it properly. Whether it's organic, you can probably leave on site, but other material we probably haul off site. And then once the excavation is complete, we replant it with native wetland plants and seed. We propose a silt sock to go all around it so we don't, disturb the wetlands on either side or allow any materials to go into the wetland until it gets established. So that's the basic plan that you see. Right here with all the notes and types of plants, and there's a blow above the actual planting.
Greg, are you gonna be on site to monitor the work, or?
Yeah, we've got a monitoring plan we typically do,
Yeah,
and we'll work that out with the
okay.
owner. So, because I imagine you're gonna wanna see a report and follow
Yeah.
DEP guidelines
Definitely.
to make sure that you get 75% establishment after 2 years, right, is the
Yep,
DEP regs?
Yeah. Okay.
so you have all native plants?
Yep.
Salix will
Now,
take off,
Lisa, I don't know if you want to go out there prior to,
definitely.
Probably, yeah, that's probably in the notes as well, to have you come out and
Yeah, no, I mean, like,
prove everything.
I think we should, if anybody wants to come out with this and go look at it, and then if we're good, I don't know if we need to have another meeting, but do you guys have any other concerns? I think the willow's just gonna take off out there.
I mean, it's out there now, that's why I picked it, but we can
No,
change
I
it.
don't mean take off, I don't mean take it off the plan, I mean it's gonna propagate, cause willow spreads quick and it grows quick. So that'll be good.
Yeah, you wanna
Yeah.
get it established and, there's knotweed in the area, so we wanna get that established so the knotweed can't come into that, so.
Yeah, so what
actually,
is,
this is the best time to clear and then to reseed, because now it's gonna get rainy and cool, and at least we're hoping it's gonna become rainy anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
so as far as the knotweed goes, are you going to, cut the knotweed and then treat it? Or are you just gonna dig up the roots?
We're probably gonna dig it up, cause it's in that you know, because that was a disturbed area, then we came right in. It's a,
Okay.
so we're gonna try and get it out of there, and obviously we'll have to monitor it so it doesn't go into the,
Yeah,
um,
okay, so now is this,
Nasty.
a one-day job? Probably a one-day job.
I think so, probably wanna come, you know, a couple of days, something like that. I haven't really looked
Yeah.
closely at it, and he's gotta get some numbers
Yeah,
from some contractors to,
yeah,
to,
okay.
Jim, someone here has a question.
I know,
Okay.
I'm gonna go through membership first.
Okay.
Anybody here have,
Are we doing any placards?
Oh, good idea.
well, that will come, yeah. In the acceptance, placards will go up.
Okay.
Yeah, but they could be on the plan. Could you just talk to Eric about putting placards up?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be good. You know, at the 25 foot is normally where we like it. Oh. Or around where the erosion controls are, or somewhere, you know, along his property, just so, Eric, is basically for like future generations, so they realize, future owners, you know, this area is kind of off limits to do anything.
Okay. Anyone else have a question up here? In the audience, sir, you can give us your name for the viewers at home?
Al Enos. I'm his abutter. I'm right behind him, on front. Everyone look at it. Part of the property you're talking about is my property too.
Oh, you are here, yes, okay.
And, yeah, Al Enos. And, I'm familiar with that property. I was born and brought up and grew up there. That was the old railroad bed, years and years ago. I'm familiar when Victor filled that in. He said he worked for a construction company, had loom he wanted to put over there. Tons and tons of loom. I says, well, I don't care, you know, because he owns half, I own half. And he just dumped it in there. Then eventually pulled it on my side, because right down the middle of that property, he owns half, I own half, when we bought the land years ago. So, all of a sudden, you know, the only way I can get in there is to go down Hart Street with my machine. I come in through his property, with Victor at the time, and I went in and I trenched that on my side, because there was water built up in there. There's no water there now, it hasn't been water there in a month. All right?
Yeah, it's an intermittent,
Well, yeah, well, it's because it comes off the hill across the street, comes down through the ground. There's little streams underground all the way, I can show you pictures of that property when I was a kid, grammar school.
would you guys wanna look at it, the photos? You brought them,
I've
Jimmy
seen,
already looked at it, but
oh, okay.
I'll give you
you know,
a quick picture of it.
the thing is that, you know, over time, the situations change.
Yeah.
As far, you know, a house gets put in, someone leaves from
This is looking.
the various trees get blown in and clog something, and all of a sudden, new wetlands are formed.
Oh, wow. Oh,
Now,
okay.
behind that house,
So you grew up in 2371?
yes.
Okay, so,
Yeah,
okay,
Behind that
so,
house is where you have that problem with my brother.
yes, unfortunately, I'm sorry.
okay, so your contention in this is what? What is your,
Well, the problem was, some years back, I had Bristol County Mosquito Control come in through Hart Street. They come in with a machine because there was complaints about the water, conservation, about the water being built up in there. They came in and they did a nice job. And they cleaned it all out as far as the pile of loom that's there now, the pile of dirt. And the water just flowed. As I came in with my machine, I got a little Mahindra tractor, and I dug a trench on my side of the property, so the water that was seeping in from before would flow down that water where they cleaned it out. The area that's basically kind of getting filled in now. It's like anything else. Mother Nature takes over. If you don't stay on top of it, it fills in with tree stumps and bushes and leaves, and it clogs up everything. Now, there's an easement across 138 from the hill across the street.
the church is?
Yeah, where the church is.
Yeah, From
there's an easement.
Eamon's property.
Right, when
Yeah.
it rains heavy, the state has this easement that comes across my property, it dumps the water over there. Comes right through on my property, and it's made a trench, and it just goes right through. That's when I had the problem, I had mosquito control come in and clean it all up. But they haven't been back since, and it's just getting filled up. So when we have heavy rain, it does, accumulate water.
I know what's going on with that.
You do?
Yeah. In '22, I believe, we had mosquito control come look at it.
Yeah.
And they said because the area behind 2371 was now a breeding ground for invertebrates, they wouldn't touch it.
So they wouldn't go that far, yeah. I mean, that started to get filled in behind 2371, actually started getting filled in from Muddy Cove. It started coming this way. Kutzenbach started filling that in. He wanted to make a exit in case a hurricane filled up his property on Pleasant Street. He made an exit up into 138, you see that gate there? He started filling in that property there. And it started filling in and moving it northbound. Moving it north, and it kept on almost, to the edge of my brother's property. And then it got a little further, and then put rocks in there, and they started, so that's another story, but that issue on that. But it just started to get filled in there by,
Okay, so regardless, we now have, I'm gonna call it new wetlands that have developed. The DEP has been on site, they have inspected with us to verify all of this wetland area. And where people have filled in, we want it, cleaned up because of the wetland wildlife that's there, so.
well, my thought was, it's a big expense for this gentleman here to have all that material excavated. Why couldn't they just open that trench up again, because it's getting filled in. My machine is not big enough to go down there. Trench it right on the edge of my property, and the water comes in, will just flow down where it's flowing. It ends up on a hot street, there's a basin there, and it flows into the river. They just got it trenched out all the way, right, you know what I'm saying, on my side of the property, just trenched out, and you'd be perfect. You don't have to take out all that material.
Okay, all right. Well, I don't know if cleaning up what is there would generate that, what we're asking people to do on both County Street and Pleasant Street.
Right.
That should release a flow to either run or just remain as a wetland as it is. We don't know.
Yeah.
But, in this case here, where it was filled, we're asking for the fill to be removed, and then nature will have to take its course from there. If nature fills it, it's nature. It's not, someone coming in and dumping construction material or whatever it may be. So, this is what this here is about, for this individual to remove the material that has been placed there in the wetlands.
Well, the railroad removed all the material before, when they put the railroad in it years ago. They didn't put it back.
Like you say, I don't know how long ago that the railroad was there, but it was many years, and I'm sure that it's
I
been.
remember it. I was just a kid, but I remember it.
Yeah. Okay, all right, thank you for your input.
Can we just, continue it, because we want some placards, and there's just a couple minor things I can see that I would just change, but, he may not even have to come to the next meeting, I think, to save the applicant, the resident some money. Maybe he doesn't need to come to the next meeting. We can just, if you guys authorize me to work with Greg on the plan a little bit. It looks really good.
If we approve this plan, they can start working on it almost immediately to clean it up.
Yeah, what's the schedule?
I'd like to move forward as quickly as possible.
The growing season is not too much longer.
Yeah, till October 15th. Yeah, well, I just want to be able to walk this wetland delineation, because I have not, and when we approve a plan with a delineation on it, I want to make sure that we've at least seen the flags. And then you call it a wetland replication, but I would just call it wetland restoration, I would just change,
Restoration,
Yeah.
mitigation.
and put some placards up,
Yeah, we can work with you on that instead of,
yeah,
so we can get
just
going on.
minor. But yeah, notify us, do you have that in here, notify us before you start work?
I think so.
Okay, yeah,
We can do that, that's,
yeah, sorry Greg, there's a lot going on, that's why I just.
yeah, there's a lot to it, I understand.
Nancy?
Nancy Goulart, Chairman, Dayton Stormwater Committee. As you know, we were part of the inspection team way back when
Yep.
we looked at this property. And because the violations under the Wetlands Protection Act were more significant than the Clean Water Act, which is what stormwater follows, Lisa took the lead. You've made the decisions, you've seen the plans, I've been copied on the information, and I just want you to know the Stormwater Committee is all set with what's going on, and so whatever you vote to approve and whatever Lisa's gonna do, we're all set.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, Lisa, so if we approve this plan and you just, and you walk it after the fact,
Well, yeah, I mean, on here, I would also like to be part of the pre-construction meeting, cause you don't have it listed, you just have a qualified wetland scientist, so you'll be there, but I would like to be part of that.
Yeah.
So it's just a small number of
That's-
just small edits, that's it.
okay?
And would anyone like to go out there before or come with me to the pre-construction?
You just have to notify us, and who's free will go.
Okay. Sounds good.
Looking for a motion, Mr. Chairman?
Yes, a motion to, I guess, accept the plan and so they can begin restoration.
I'd like to propose a motion to accept the restoration plan subject to inspection by the conservation agent in addition to the pre-construction team.
So moved. Any other discussion? Anyone from the audience? All in favor?
Aye.
You had a question?
Jim, I mean, I guess I just put my 2 cents in this, and thank you for additional improvement, and is the challenge, and I understand, I don't speak all the engineering speak, but yes, we're in the process of trying to get bids out now that we have a plan. So if I understand you correctly,
Yeah.
it's once we've chose someone to then have them come back out and meet with them at the site.
The pre-construction meeting that's on the plan, they'll have to,
Okay.
I'll just be present for that, and I think that'll be, but I might wanna come out beforehand just to walk the flagging that Greg hung.
It's pretty straightforward because it is a railroad bed,
Yeah.
so.
So is it top of bank, or is it down
It's
low?
more or less top of bank, yeah, it's, cause it comes right over and goes right up, you know? Obviously, it goes around the
All right.
hill area, so I mean. but if you
Yeah,
look at it-
I'll come look, Dave and
Okay.
I will probably come out. And
No,
I
I'm
can
just
email
saying
you,
there's-
let you know.
As far as timing, the challenge
Yeah.
and the schedule
Oh yeah, definitely get contractors' bids on this plan, it's just,
on this plan.
yeah.
Okay, very good. Okay, thank you. Okay, 710 Center Street.
There's no updates on that. Before we keep going down, we do have some other people that are here. Do we wanna take things out of order? Yeah.
We could, yeah, certainly we can,
Okay,
because we got several items here, and it might be a long time.
okay. Well, I know, I have an update for you on a couple of these, but they're not here. So why don't we, let's see, where are you from?
1861?
Okay. So why don't we take Zero Cobb's, vote to take Zero Cobb's and 1861 Somerset Ave out of order, please?
Zero Cobb's 1861.
Down the bottom.
Looking for a motion, Mr. Chairman?
Wait a minute. Do I don't have that on, I don't see it yet.
Oh, that's because you have the old agenda.
Right here, sorry, I've got it.
All right, okay, wait a minute. Okay, I do have it here, okay, I was going too far to the bottom, okay. Let's let's, a motion to take 0 Cobb Lane out of sequence. Is there a second? All in favor? Okay, 0 Cobb Lane.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. John Paul Thomas, the attorney for the owners of Zero
I'm
Cobb
sorry,
Lane.
your name is?
John Paul Thomas. I'm the attorney for the property owners of Zero Cobb Lane. There's a couple of things that I'd like to address. Just a little background. My client received a letter from Ms. Caledonia saying to stop doing whatever you're doing, attend the meeting tonight, which I responded to on the 11th. And the letter specifically said no more earth moving. My client had asked me if he could place some wood piles on the property. Based on the letter, I didn't think it was an issue. I allowed him, I didn't allow him, I advised him that it wouldn't be a problem. Then we received a enforcement order as a result of that. So just as a background to what happened, we stopped our work. I responded to Ms. Caldonia's letter, told her that although we disagree with her position, that we would attend the meeting tonight, we wouldn't do anything further. From my understanding, based on her letter, I didn't think that placing the wood piles was the actual issue. So that's where we are with this part. A background on the property itself. This property has been a... Continue, or? I don't want to interrupt what you guys are looking at.
No, that's, it's a wetland soils map.
Yeah, so I was able to look up the same wetland soils map. This property was a buildable lot from the early 1800s. At one point, this was part of Cobb's Wharf, which was it was a house. There was a factory there that tended to coal and iron. That was part of Cobb's Wharf, hence the name Cobb's Lane. Then there was another building. That building was demolished at some point. That land was, and it was a brick factory, I believe. From my research, that bricks, stone was all ground up, deposited into the soil. Then at some point, that land became agricultural, and man-made ditches were put in, so that these ditches are almost perfectly square, if you will. And there's pipes. It was created. I did a Google Earth search from 1985. It's been there ever since. This property's been always maintained up until about COVID. It was used agriculturally, I would say the last 35, 40 years. We disagree with the position that it's classified as wetland, but placing that aside, we didn't do anything that hasn't been done over the last 35, 40 years by the prior owners and consistently. The only thing that changed was 2020 during COVID. Now, when I spoke with Lisa on Monday, she referred to this as an intermittent stream, but according to the Wetland Protection Act, that's defined as a stream that's dependent on the groundwater absorption, and that is wet most of the growing season. This stream, it's not even a stream, this is a drainage ditch. When it rains, it fills up, and if it's not cleaned out and maintained, it sits there and then absorbs into the ground little bit by little bit. So, as I heard earlier, as you so well put it, it's like Mother Nature fills up these drainage ditches and then the water has nowhere to go. So I would respectfully disagree with the assessment that this is a wetland area. And I would ask that the board delete this enforcement order, and we can make a determination at a different date. But I would suggest or ask to request this board to allow us to continue to maintain this property as it has been for the last 50 years.
You made reference to the activity in the late 1800s. In your thoughts, do you think laws have changed since the late 1800s?
Oh, yes, sir. I definitely agree that laws have changed. My only point was that this was a buildable lot that's maintained its integrity as a buildable lot, hasn't combined with any other lots, and this was prior to the Wetlands Protection Act.
When was it defined as a buildable lot?
According to what I go back as far as 1835.
Well, back then, they used to throw dead horses and cows in the river. ICI dumped chemicals in the river, and that was all legal then. All these factories in Taunton, F.B. Rogers dumped all their fluids, and the Taunton River was considered dead. Many people saw it. There was nothing left in it because it was being dead. Many laws have been made since that time which have brought the river back to life, and which makes boating on the Taunton River quite viable and enjoyable now. So laws have changed for the good. Lots which are once buildable are not buildable today under current law. And wetlands, we'll leave that up to the scientists to determine, the wetland scientists, which we have right here on hand, and our wetland mapping. I don't think, you're not a wetland scientist, are you?
I am not.
Okay, so we would leave it up to the cartographers that have listed soils, the wetland scientists that have viewed it in particular. We'll leave it to them. And according to what we have, it is a wetland. Later, okay, I will,
I have a comment too. So if there is a house, say in a resource or near a resource, once it's torn down, you only have 2 years under the building code to rebuild it, is what I'm told. But in fact, even so, there's a house right next door. I know Corey Clausen, the contractor that's here, right here in the blue. He did tell me there's a house there they want to tear down and do some work over there. I just want to make clear that you guys realize that that is in a flood zone, right next adjacent to a wetland. Whether it was created or not, it's a wetland now. So that's going to need to file. And we might be able to just do an RDA for the tear down, but like, just so you guys know.
Can I just address the 2-year thing? So the 2-year reverts only when you have a non-conforming conforming use. So if there was a house on a lot that wasn't residential, say it was industrial or commercial, or vice versa, if there was a commercial building on a lot that was in a residential neighborhood, if you tear it down or stop using it or cease operation for 2 years or more, it then reverts back to the original zoning. That's the actual rule. So if it's that's what I was just trying to say to the board. If it's a buildable lot in a residential neighborhood, by law it remains a buildable lot. Now, whether or not the wetland issue, that's a separate and distinct issue. Yeah, so it remains a buildable lot for the life of that lot, as long as it doesn't, as long as the zoning doesn't change or doesn't revert. Right, yes.
So it meets the frontage
Right,
requirement.
all of that. And even if it,
But not necessarily wetlands
correct,
protection act
correct,
and
correct,
local bylaw.
correct. So I didn't want to interrupt him, but just to address that, that's what that 2-year revert means. So I would also like to add that it's possible, not even addressing whether or not I'm a scientist, but what I can tell you is this wetland, as it's been pinpointed through the pictures over the years, has always been maintained, but these drainage, these man-made, man-placed drainage ditches, if you will, have really been, I think, contributing to the issue. So when they're clogged and not maintained, that becomes an issue. and when they're maintained, it's fine. It's not, there isn't any absorption of, there isn't any backup of groundwater, there isn't any intermittent stream, there's no, water doesn't come out of nowhere. It's only after a significant rain, and it's only an issue if they're not maintained. For the purposes of this.
Do we know if Bristol County Mosquito Authority maintained them to a certain point and then stopped?
I was just gonna say that. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. So they maintained them, and then I don't know if it was COVID during 2020, prior to my client's ownership of the property, they said they no longer do that. So it hasn't been maintained since. Hasn't been maintained since Bristol County. I don't know the exact year, but what I am told is my client reached out to Bristol County to have them come do it, because we were told that they once did it, and that they were told that they no longer offer that service, if you
Yeah, I
will.
pulled up some information too, so, but, okay.
So by having nature fill in those
Man-made ditches.
trenches, whatever they are, it would actually increase the wetness of the property and have new vegetation grow. The photos that we just saw are certainly indicative of wetlands. Lisa, you have been,
I think that was the first day I was at.
Those are the mosquito ditches.
Yeah, and that's what they've been referred to as mosquito ditches. So what happens is, if it's a significant rain, I mean, I've personally observed it. I don't know that I need to be a scientist, but I know that when it's a heavy rain, it takes a little bit longer to absorb. When it's not a heavy rain, nothing sits there.
no, so what it comes down to, though, is what are the soils like, and what are the plants that grow there? That's what's going to determine the wetlands. Not how fast the water goes into the ground, but the soil structure and the plants. And, and these photographs certainly indicate wetland plants. I can't dig the soil, but we have, now Lisa, this is the soil map right here?
Yeah, so what you have is, you have Scarborough Muck and Whitman, so those are both hydrologic soils group,
So that's showing, soils are showing wetlands.
CD, so A and B, hydrologic soils group A and B is like a sandy soil that will perk. C and D won't perk, you know, it doesn't drain, it has mostly organic material. But, so I have another question. Do you think maybe those ditches were also created when there was a farm using the site for irrigation?
Yes, I do think that that was an irrigation for feeding the farm. I do believe that, because there is, at some point, though, they didn't exist, right? And so, and there was no issue in that property. The real issue, I would say, became, there was a house, it was torn down, there was a parking lot made, and it was, the elevation was raised. But I'm, from my research, because if you look at those ditches, there's actually half pipes in there. So from the very extensive research I did on this project since we received this, was that those ditches, the way, I mean, just you could probably tell from the way that they're created, that they were used to feed those crops, if you will, right? It was probably more to collect rainwater and use it, because there was no other way to do that. So that would be
I believe that too, yeah. Because back then, they didn't really think about mosquitoes.
right. And there was no other way to, like, I mean, the way they're perfect squares or rectangles. So it was the only way to, I mean, and so speaking with the prior owner and other people, I mean, it was farmed up until it was used as agriculture for many, many years. I'm sure people in the,
So, yeah, so what year did you stop? Do you know what year you stopped using it?
We bought the property, Robert Mungeon, one of the owners, we bought the property a couple of years ago, 2 years ago May. We were just mowing back there, grass, as it was done prior to. I don't know when it was stopped.
Okay, because Land and Agriculture commercial use, it's a 5-year window. If you stop the commercial use of the property.
Do you
You
have,
might wanna talk to
Yeah.
Brad. Fitz-
I think it's,
you have pictures that we altered?
yeah, so I have pictures
I didn't climb in there, no.
from Google Earth. I mean, I definitely, I think it was definitely,
But again, it's a 5-year window on commercial,
Agriculture.
which has to be, you know, a for-profit business.
so I don't know that,
As far as commercial farming.
Oh, yeah.
So if you wanted to lease the property to a farmer and it's been within 5 years, that's great. We just wanna kinda be informed of that's what you're gonna do.
Sure.
But you might be able to find a farm that would wanna lease it,
Bailey.
right?
I'm
Yeah.
gonna,
Yeah,
are you neighbors or,
yeah, actually,
okay, your name, please?
my name is Jessica Hargrove. I live at 119 Main Street. I actually live at the property that is right across from 126 Main Street, which is the property that they are considering demolishing. So I have some feedback on that. But I also have feedback on the location that you guys are discussing now, which has not been used for anything in quite some time. It has been vacant land that has been mowed, and I apologize that we have not met sooner. It would have been nice to have some sort of introduction because you've come into the neighborhood. You know, nobody really has gotten to know you like we knew Tommy, so it's been unfortunate.
My wife's on.
How long have you lived at that address?
My family has lived there since 1971 in that
Okay.
same house.
54 years.
Yeah, actually, my Uncle David drowned in the Taunton River back in 1973. So I can tell you that my family has an invested stake in the Taunton River in that area. I can tell you that prior to you taking ownership, that the previous owners had a complete disregard for wetlands and 126 Main Street. If you're looking at the property directly, to the left of it, there was protected wetlands in between that and the adjacent lot that the town now owns, which is being turned into a parking lot across from Lanes Park. Tommy filled that in. It was protected wetlands.
Parking lot is what the town owns, correct?
Correct. That was protected wetlands. That was filled in. There was a complaint filed
How long ago was that?
within the last 10 years. Nothing was done about it.
We never.
Town filled that in.
The town did not fill that in.
No?
The parking lot?
yes.
No, the parking lot the town filled in. Between the parking lot and 126 Main Street, there is a strip of land that, okay, so let me see. This is my house right here.
This is the parking lot.
This is the parking lot. This land right here was always a protected wetland area.
Yeah.
They filled that,
There's still wetland there,
they filled it in.
but it's wetland right now, or the majority of it is wet like this.
You can,
So maybe it was the backyard and the septic system that they filled in.
no, they came in with loads of dirt.
Well, right now, it is a wetland.
Okay. I can tell you that they raised the floodplain on it because we used to have a significant amount of water that would drain there. And now it drains into our yard and has been a significant issue with the flooding. And that is our concern with you guys raising any land over in the area that you are, is that it is going to change the floodplain.
Fair enough.
These are old houses. Mr. Clausen, I know you from long ago, and I don't think you realize who I am.
Okay.
But I'm Amanda Clement's sister, cousin,
Oh,
so
okay, yeah.
I know you a long time ago, and I know your family is wonderful. And I urge you to do your research before you guys do anything, and I'm begging you, begging you. My family is deep-rooted in Reading, and especially on the lower end of Main Street. My uncle owns a house on Water Street. But what I'm telling you is doing anything with that property is going to significantly impact the floodplain and the neighbors in that area, specifically at the end of Main Street and Water Street. We already have an astronomical flood insurance policy. Our basements flood constantly. We suffer from this. Changing any part of that ground level is gonna impact us.
Okay, I think we got an idea of what is wet and everything else. Let me just say one thing. We can revoke the enforcement order if what you put in the wetlands is removed. But that does not give you authority to do anything else. It's just that we would remove the enforcement order once the pilings are taken out of the wetlands.
Yes, sir, those were displaced there last week, we didn't know, we had pictures of them.
Right,
There's
so,
probably about 6 or 8, there's not many. Do you have a picture of the show the board?
and so, and just a few other,
No, we couldn't,
I got photos.
tomorrow,
yeah,
put them back on the other side.
I mean, it wasn't, it's
But
not,
there was an understanding between Corey, and I think you were there, sir, right? And you saw that, we should.
I wasn't there touching.
And there won't be a good neighbor to you, I promise you.
I think they did the representation.
People before.
Some of the customers. Yeah, I know, but you can't do it without, like, you can't just go in there and work.
I
You
said
can't
we
work in a
can do it.
resource
It
at all
removed, we
without
can,
working with us
but
on
again,
it. You know what I
that
mean?
doesn't
Because then
give
things like
authority
this
to,
happen.
for the owners to do other work on it.
This is all happening because of a culvert that has been filled in. There's a culvert coming on Cobb's Lane that comes from all the water from
Right,
upstairs,
so
goes into the property, and there's another culvert that goes out into the,
When the pages side comes for us.
you know?
The
and you
culvert,
know,
the
Dave,
culverts
you
can
guys,
be
so
cleaned out.
to you,
We can maintain.
and sir, I don't know if you guys see it, they don't have pictures. There's another culvert, and this is the whole thing. We just cleaned out a culvert that's supposed to take all the water from all the neighbors that's in the back there, that's supposed to, it was plugged. And I opened it up. And that culvert goes with all these ditches.
And there's no more water there now.
yeah,
And
it
there's
hasn't been
no
an
more
issue.
water anymore,
There's
and
not-
and I'm trying,
And
we're
we're
trying to
also-
fix it.
We're also kind of in a drought right now. But in order to do something like that in the future, you have to come talk to us because
Well, that's all we want, is just to do
you see
maintenance.
those piles of trees and shrubs and organic matter that you have there? Like,
They
that's,
were there
Those were
before.
us.
They were there before us, they were right there.
Yeah, that
I just put
wasn't,
them on the other side of the creek.
I
you
can
know,
look at the,
Of the ditch.
we have near maps, so we can see every 3 months for
I
the
can
past
give you-
15 years.
Yeah.
I can see if those piles were there.
I actually brought every year from 1994 to present day.
You can see them.
See the piles of dirt, of
Yeah,
organic matter?
Yeah, you can see them.
Okay.
We were just like, to ask,
We just asked for, we just want to do maintenance. Get rid of this and just do maintenance on the property.
Continue to let us cut it, clean it.
Clean it.
How about letting us know prior to what maintenance you are interested in? And then we can assist you as to whether you can or can't. That might be the most beneficial way to go about it. But, you know, right now, certainly, all those pilings, or the logs, or whatever we're calling them.
They're pilings.
Pilings, you know, they're in wetlands.
I just give it to
Yeah,
him.
we have them here. Let me see, I'll pass it down.
Can we know what you plan to do with the pilings?
We're just putting them there.
Storing the, because you're gonna replace some pilings? Because replacing pilings also need,
Well, I think that's the Army, I'm not sure, but I think that might be the Army Corps of Engineer issue, but we're not, that's not why they're there. We,
Okay, let's try to settle this then. If those are removed, we'll release the enforcement order
I
as
think
far.
someone else wanted to talk. She's the one that made the
Oh, I
good
thought
plan.
they were together.
Well, we are.
Okay, but we can do that, and then if you plan to do something else, inform us ahead of time to make sure that we can approve it, because if you start digging trenches to drain everything down, I mean, we had a family one time that tried to drain a swamp to build a golf course.
Totally agree with everything you said about the river and how it's gotten better over the 20 years. I experienced it myself.
You know, when I was a kid, I saw a horse floating down the Taunton River down the Ware, back and forth with the tide.
yes,
See brown water until I got to Newport.
yeah, sure.
It's clear now. And everything's come back to life. It's
Yeah.
wonderful.
Yep, my
It is
grandfather used to work at the silver factory down the Weir, and said that whenever they had scrap metal or misshapen stuff, they'd just chuck it out the window.
Wait a minute, ICI, as a kid, we used to go by there, and my brother, sister, and I, we would hold our noses, we went by the cove there. It stunk that bad because of the chemicals. And now it's, well, it's swimmable. I'll eat fish from the river.
Jim, Alicia.
Okay, go ahead. Your name, please, and your address.
Alicia Wilson, 2043 Somerset Ave.
Okay?
So I'm on a butter to the property, and actually I have wetlands and a vernal pool that are in the very, very back of my lot that flow into this area. So I have concerns about any work that's done here, what it's affecting the vernal pool in the back of my property, or the, you know, if any ditches are changed or filled in, that also affects the flooding in the area.
What was your
that's
address again? I'm
It's
sorry.
2043
Okay,
Somerset.
thank you.
Okay. And now, for your, we have jurisdiction 200 feet from the high water mark on vernal pools. Just so that you know, you're aware of that. So the vernal pool is 100 feet from the high water mark, and then our jurisdiction extends another 100 feet. And of course, the wetlands themselves, we you know, monitor that and 100 feet beyond, as you saw some of
And
these.
200 feet off the
Just
river.
informative, so that you know before something is done and get yourself in trouble. Okay, so I think, are we in agreement that those poles are gonna be removed?
Jim, was she done? I don't know if she was done.
Oh, you're not done? Oh, I'm sorry.
So as far as the maintaining of those streams, Bristol mosquito control county mosquito control would come down yearly. I think last year was probably the first year that they didn't come down. They would come down and cut down all the reeds in the fall and clear that out. It did keep the water flowing, but that area is very marshy. Like any time of the year where you're not in a drought, if you walk through there, you will sink in your boots up to your knees. And it's been like that for the last 10 years that I've lived on that property. As far as the history of the house that was destroyed, I can tell you, my house was actually the house that was destroyed, and it was moved up to the property where we are. It was taken out during the 1930s hurricane. It was washed away up to the area that we're there, and that's why there's nothing there. And back at that time, it was farmed, but it has not been farmed since. So that's the little history of the property. If anybody had a question about that, I actually know the prior owner family.
Yeah, salty strawberries don't taste too well.
Yeah, not too good.
Okay, you all set?
But as
I
far
don't wanna
as,
set
like,
you off.
No, it's okay. But like as far as like the moving of like the dirt and stuff, like those piles have been moved multiple times. It's not just you, like that they were moved into the deep side of the wetlands this year and pushed against the Main Street
The
side.
shrubs.
But
Yeah.
prior to that, there was just a big pile, and it was kind of in the boatyard area where the boats were parked for winter storage, and then it was pushed back into the wetlands. So that's all I have. I'm just very concerned about any usage and changes to that property.
Yeah.
So as a former resident of Main Street, I know,
Yeah.
I know the
Nancy?
water table troubles and like that.
Nancy?
We had a presentation at the last Stormwater Committee meeting about this project, just a brief overview. And the understanding was they were going to build a storage area for additional boats. But as I'm listening to this tonight, are you the first board or committee that they have come to? They've gone to planning or zoning?
This has
When
not-
you're talking about the notice of intent, they requested to continue it, and yes, we are the first.
Okay, so zoning is aware of it?
Yeah.
Okay, what about planning? Are they involved?
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
you filed with planning?
planning last winter.
Yeah.
Okay, the area that you're talking about clearing or cleaning up or whatever, approximately, how many square feet are we talking about?
We're not clearing anything up for the building, it's space that we store boats now, we're just putting the building where the boats are stored.
Are you talking about the building?
Yeah, it's a totally different lot.
No,
Different lot.
that
Different
piece
lots,
of land,
different lots.
got a big piece of land.
Are you talking about the wetland area or the?
I'm talking about the land. There's a piece of land that they're proposing to have boat storage on, correct? In order to do that, you're not just gonna pull boats in and stick them here and stick them here. You're going to do something to the land. Scrape it, put gravel down, pave it, whatever you're going to do. My question to you is, what's the total square feet?
Nancy, this is going to be next, I believe, next month.
Two separate lots.
They've asked for a continuation.
Separate.
So we're getting ahead with
Well, no.
something that has not been opened. We have already continued that issue till next month. So I don't want to get into the building that is proposed because.
And
it's
I'm not talking about the building. I'm talking about a piece of land. It's got dirt and, who knows, shrubs, grass, whatever on it. They want to do something with the land. My question is, how much of that, what is the total amount of land that you're talking about? Not what you're gonna do with it
I
in
would
real life.
just say, Mr. Chairman, we're not prepared, I don't know what that size
Okay,
is.
the reason I ask is because when I first heard about the project, the question was asked, do they need a stormwater permit? And that's why I asked about planning. Depending upon the nature of what they're going to do, stormwater permit may come through the planning board. If it's not, the bylaw says if you disturb more than 35,000 square feet, you need a stormwater permit. So we have not gotten into it, but I just want everyone to understand that whether or not a stormwater permit is going to be needed has to be determined, and hopefully the planning board will do that. If not, stormwater has to know, okay? Thank you.
Nancy, thank you. I will say we are having Weston Sampson review for stormwater compliance.
Excellent.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to be difficult, we just didn't come here prepared to address that. So if I could just recap so I understand what this board is gonna do, we're gonna remove the pilings, the board will.
Okay, as soon as those piles are removed, let Lisa know and she can withdraw the enforcement.
Thank you, and we can continue, yes, that will be done
I'm happy
immediately.
to take it up, be happy to take it off my list.
Okay.
Thank
So
you.
we'll,
Be allowed to maintain the flow.
and then,
So there's no more issues with the neighbors. Can we cut the grass that's all been done?
correct, can we,
I would say hand digging or whatever, or putting equipment to, no, but if you're gonna mow it,
Well, the ditch itself, I mean, how can you clear that?
You got,
Well, it's not-
I can try mosquito, you said about, I called them, they said they're not gonna do it.
we actually.
I'm not trying to be, tomato control.
I would like, can you email them and copy me?
trenches,
I didn't email them, I just called them.
That's
Told them
and and this is why I believe they have stopped, because they have altered the land, by doing that, and now it's saying, whether it's mosquitoes or red-winged blackbirds, all these creatures are gonna live there and live off of each other. Okay, we all set then? Okay.
Jim, Corey and I are just talking about maybe trying to communicate with Bristol County Mosquito Authority.
But if they're not doing it, they're not doing it. I don't know.
I know, but it wouldn't hurt for,
To ask, okay.
all right?
And if they don't do it, then we can have a plan to maintain it.
Yeah, just communicate with Lisa,
Alright,
communicate with
perfect.
permission, and then, we'll
Okay.
measure twice, cut once, and then that way we can minimize impact to the butters, and we can,
Yeah, the thing is, it's grown vegetation, so whether it was maintained.
I mean, it'd still be wetlands,
It is
even
a
with
It is a wetland, and the ditch is considered intermittent stream at this point, so in order, we couldn't really give a permit, I talked to DEP about this. We can't give a permit to maintain it, but we can work with them to keep the culverts open. That's important to maintain I know you met with Tom Ferry, but it's not the town's responsibility on your property, that's the problem.
That's why I wanna just keep it maintained.
So,
Thank you.
Mosquito control ain't gonna do it.
Is there a vote? Am I discharged?
Okay, all right. Did we solve anything tonight for you?
I think we're in agreement that we're going to remove the piling by next week. Corey's gonna reach out to Lisa to confirm, she'll confirm.
And then we'll release the enforcement,
But we don't do anything back there.
and she'll look into the cleaning.
And most importantly, we're gonna be the best deal we can to these ladies.
Wonderful. Wonderful. And you can tie up your kayak to one of their moorings.
I just have one question. Does this require a vote?
Is Lisa authorized to revoke the enforcement order once it's?
Well, let's vote on it now. Make a motion then.
I would like to propose a motion to authorize the conservation agent to revoke the enforcement order, pending successful confirmation that the piling's been removed.
So moved.
All in favor? Aye. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Okay.
They weren't gonna,
Feel bad for poor Kendra trying to take notes for 4 conversations at once.
You're here for, you are?
1861 Somerset Ave?
It's early.
I'm sorry?
It's early.
Would you like a motion to take them out of order, Mr. Chairman?
Sure.
I'd like to propose a motion to take 1861 Somerset Ave out of order. Is there a second?
Hey, guys,
Dave. Chit chatters.
the motion to take 1861 Somerset Avenue out of order. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Okay.
Sorry, we were talking about logs.
Oh my gosh. So do you want to stand up there so that we can hear you?
Yes.
Thank you.
1861 Somerset Avenue.
Let me get the file on this.
Gee, I know where 1712 is.
So, a couple years ago, we had to put some boulders out to stay 25 feet away from the wetlands. So we did place that, and since then, the vegetation's grown great there, and it's got a no-touch zone. So we did all that. I think what I did unknowingly, well, I was supposed to inform. I had some extra asphalt, and I just did one little strip just to park my trucks on, and I measured where from the well to the edge of edge of where the asphalt is 68 feet from where the well is over.
What about the wetland flags? Because didn't you have, it was
We
flat.
had, yeah, and we had the, so we put the boulders like you had asked us to do. So we put the boulders all in place with the plaques,
Yeah.
and that's all. If you notice, that's all grown great over there.
Yeah.
But I just on the other side of the boulders now, I have there's like some concrete forms that are on one side. I have a pile of field stone for my stone walls, and I have a little pile of reprocessed dense grade on a side. All away from that, but just recently, let's say maybe a couple months ago, that I had some extra mix and I just poured a little strip there. But I think that's what I did wrong
Yeah.
without notifying you.
Yeah, you don't have a permit to do it.
I didn't even know I
And
needed
you're
a permit.
in a flood zone.
Yeah, that I didn't know.
But luckily, it's a coastal flood zone. If it was, below the bridge is all coastal. So if it was a freshwater, you would have had to get an engineer to compensate for that, flood capacity, the loss of flood capacity.
Wait,
So-
I'm gonna go 1861. We're past the police station,
Yes.
left side.
Yes. Yeah, right behind 1712.
Right back of it, okay.
It's the colonial right behind 1712.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I think if you wanna keep that asphalt there, you have to file with us. to keep
Okay.
that there.
Yeah, no problem. I honestly, it's my fault and I didn't know I needed to, so I stand corrected and I'll do whatever needs to be done. I always try to follow, the rules, but that was something I really didn't know. Yeah.
I can accept that. Because you've followed everything that.
Yeah, whatever was asked, I did, yeah, I just,
I know, I was very surprised to see it because I said, oh, didn't we just go through this?
yeah.
So this is, his house is over there and he added this area between his yard and his neighbors and the wetlands right behind it. Did you add a little bit more pavement too since last time?
No, if you notice, it's just one strip, like I've only paved once, it was just, and then I think I only had maybe 8 ton left, so it was just like the width of the spreader, just, I don't know, maybe, but it was only one time that I've paved, I've never paved
Stick it out of the
before.
window.
Yeah,
So we'll do a.
Okay, so you're,
I kinda wanna go look at it.
absolutely, yeah,
Can me and Dave come out next week?
yeah, anytime, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, absolutely.
Is there
Okay.
a time, like,
so we'll be all set then.
is anyone home during the day?
I work from home, so I'll
Yeah.
be home.
Okay.
Yeah, and I can make myself available anytime, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so probably Wednesday or Thursday, are you around, Dave?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, let's, if we're all set, okay, I guess we're all set here.
Thank you.
Okay, let's go back to our agenda and time.
Yep.
I guess we're on Hart Street.
Thanks for coming in.
All right, thank you very much, have a good night.
Good night. 880 Hart Street, Lisa?
What's 710, Center Street?
I can send it through the email. Okay.
And you got a person with that,
Okay, JL Viveros.
80.
Okay, good. All right, I'll be in touch. Thank you, guys. Sorry.
Okay, Lisa, 880 Hart Street?
Yeah, the
Okay.
cows are still in
All right,
there.
this has been going on now for a year. They have a plan, again, this plan, has not been consummated, if that's the good word for it. I would like your opinion about, fines if work isn't done, if the cows aren't moved, here, the plan is to move the cows out, and it's all set, and nothing has been done.
Have they,
It's probably a 2-hour job, I really don't know, to move the cows.
I don't know myself, did they prepare the pen behind the house?
No, the
No?
pile's still back there. The
Is
pile.
the pile still there?
So the plan has been, it's been approved, and nothing's been done. You know, this is what's happening with,
Why don't we send a letter, because I'm wondering if it's a monetary issue.
Has there been any response from D'Souza, Lisa?
Absolutely not. Nothing.
okay, how about, all right, let's look at this. If work isn't completed, which it's only gonna take a few hours to fence out a pen out in the back where they said to move the cows up the road and to dig out that.
It may very well be a couple of days, but let's say,
That we consider the $300 a day fine. Not this month, but if it's not done at our September 18 meeting, we can revisit this and initiate fines if it's not done.
I think that's fair, because we wouldn't be issuing fines today. It's really just, I feel that we've been as lenient as we can be in this situation. And I'd like to have kind of like one last, warning, I guess, before we start to issue fines.
Yeah,
So-
how many days would that be?
Well, my thought was that, yours is, I think, a little bit different, that to notify them and say that fines will begin, on
September 30th?
before that, September 19, after our next meeting. We would initially vote on it if work is not completed by that date.
How would you feel about, rather than stating that the fines will be reinstituted on that date, that we will be placing an item on our September agenda to reinstitute those fines?
That's fine.
That way,
Yeah.
God forbid there's extenuating circumstances, you never know, somebody has a medical situation, anything that we would consider a legitimate mitigating factor.
But someone with a sore hand is not, that's not insufficient, you know what I'm talking about.
Right, so I think that would kind of preserve our flexibility and then allow us to reinstitute the fines if we choose, or if there was some other circumstance that we wanted to consider and grant an extension, we could cross that bridge when we get to it.
Okay, that's fine. Lisa, so a letter will go out to the homeowner on that?
Okay, and it's gonna say,
Okay, make the motion, please.
I'd like to propose a motion that we send a letter to the owner of 880 Hart Street informing them that if we have not received word that work is completed by September 18th, that we will place an item on the agenda to consider reinstituting fines.
Not reinstituting, just
Or to
instituting.
institute fines, excuse me.
Instituting fines.
Excuse me.
So moved.
hold on. Okay, letter to owner informing that if we have not received word that work is completed by 9/18, which is our next meeting, we will place, well, wait a minute,
We will consider, or we will,
Yeah, we will consider
We're gonna be considering.
an agenda item to institute fines.
we
yeah,
will.
so that will go on the agenda for next week.
It's always on.
Okay,
At least we got the flexibility there.
that's fine. Okay, you made the motion, is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, Abel seconded, Abel, Bill,
Thank you.
and all in favor? Aye. Okay. 1070, oh, wait a minute, Lisa.
No, I'm good.
1070 Smith Street?
Yeah, I haven't gotten word that they have installed erosion controls yet, but I did get word that they have a tree that they want to remove, and I'm pretty sure that I'm going to be going out there next week. They're away right now, or,
Okay, is there anything that you want to deal with on that list?
yeah.
Which one?
260 Country Hill Drive, let's start with that. They contacted me when they got the agenda, and they said they couldn't make the meeting, but the Virginia creeper was coming in nice along the slope, which is what I kind of anticipated, but they do have the seed, and they wanted to know if they should spread the seed. So that's a good thing, and I would like to respond to them that
Yep.
they can do that. Next is 662 Somerset Ave. I did meet with the owner, is it Richard? He came into the office, and I gave him a list of native shrubs to restore the understory, and gave him some options for that, and pond species, sparganium and things like that would do good. So that's all good news. And I asked him to let me know what he decides. And then 2365 Elm, it's still on there because I haven't gotten any word that they've seeded. I know last time I talked to them, they said they were surprised they were on the agenda, but I let them know that things stay on the agenda until we kind of get word that it's dealt with. 2625 Lewis, I have not heard back from him either, but his building permit is still on hold.
Okay.
I don't know if work has proceeded anyhow, but I will try to text him on Tuesday. Text and call.
And the dumpster's still back there too.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for reminding me of that.
Okay, we're going into other business.
Yep.
Paul, the proposed warrant article, you're dealing with that?
Yes, is it okay if we discuss that at the September meeting? I don't have anything prepared for it tonight.
Okay.
But the warrant will be open for the special town meeting still by the time of our next meeting.
Okay.
So I'll get some sample language in the meantime. It's just,
Okay, so we can have it, if it's all written up, and then we can just approve it as is and just hand it over.
perfect.
Okay. Meeting minutes, okay, we have 12/19/24, not 5, 24.
Yeah, I changed it.
Okay, all right, is there a motion to accept the minutes from that date?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Okay, here's this one. You guys have to sign, Paul, okay. Yep. Up top.
Did you sign the minutes, Jim?
We did.
Okay.
It's over here, it's all signed.
I'm gonna sign it.
Thank you.
Or did just you sign?
Yeah, I
Is that
signed it.
Oh, okay, all right, perfect. Sorry.
No, just me, no, here. You have, pass that to,
Bill.
okay, are we all set with the bills payable?
Yeah, I might not even paid any bills over the past month, but I have a stack on the desk.
All right. Do we need a motion to pay bills?
Sure.
And then, Paul, you can sign them as such, okay? Now, this is the signatures that we're just doing now.
Yeah, you guys voted on it the last meeting,
Right.
but I couldn't find it when I,
Okay.
I don't know if it's
It's
lost
all
in
set, everything's signed here.
thank you.
Serpide redlined on the conservation subdivision.
Hello?
I'm Michelle Tinger, I'm with Serpide.
Oh, I was wondering what you would, I was saying, who's that?
Oh, I was
Okay.
just hanging out in the back, just enjoying all
Enjoying this?
the action. Yeah.
Lisa, give me that other paper and I'll be ready to sign it for Arujo.
Oh, it's already up there. I let Paul look at it.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
So thank you for your time. I'm Michelle Tinger. I am the Assistant Director of Environmental Planning with Serpide. I'm going to be providing a very brief, I'm trying to be very nice in terms of the timing as well, because I know one, it's late, two, you just covered a lot of material in your agenda, so I'd like to be a little considerate of your time tonight as well. So I wanted to be able to discuss the current conservation subdivision. Just a little background, Serpide has been doing a little bit of a board and committee tour. So we've been going around meeting with several different folks and just trying to pull as much feedback, comments, questions as possible when it comes to your current conservation subdivision. That's currently where we are in the process. We are working with Carrie Easterday, who currently staffs the planning board. So I wanted to just be able to provide a little bit of background for folks. I understand that this is also being streamed on your TV, correct? Okay, so just, sorry, just want to make sure you can hear me. For context, subdivision, conservation subdivisions can also be called open space residential designs. They can be called natural resource protection zoning, cluster flexible development, all of that to mean the same thing, which is open space and residential development. For the purpose of this conversation, Dayton does refer to their bylaw as conservation subdivision. So just to make that clarification. This project was funded by the Executive Office of Energy and Environmental Affairs back in the fiscal year of '23. In this time frame, this funding did allow us to do bylaw reviews, so we're currently working on one with Dayton as well as Middleborough. Have community and developer interviews, which were conducted, I believe, perhaps around two years ago. I'll speak a little louder, thank you. provide bylaw updates for Middleborough and Dayton, and then do a peer-to-peer learning exchange with several different communities where board members as well as staff can just chit-chat a little bit about their current bylaws, some of the issues that are going on, things that work well, successes, and so on. Some of the background information that SERP had done included a bylaw analysis. So this included information such as 70% of the communities in the SERPID region do allow for OSRDs in their current zoning bylaws. 3 allow it by right now, and 16 require a special permit. Other communities currently do not allow OSRD bylaws. 61% of the region is currently zoned for an OSRD. A little bit of fun facts for bylaw analysis is that roughly 20 to 50% of the region does, the minimum open space requirements is 20 to 50% within SERPID, and for the maximum allowed housing lot density, there's currently an allowance of 1.09 to 22.23 units per acre. Some of the takeaways that we heard from the community interviews that were conducted include things such as over 50% of communities are seeing that these bylaws are being utilized. Generally, this is identified by best practices on paper, which doesn't necessarily translate into what is really working and what's successful on the ground. A committed planning board seems to be something that is incredibly effective to ensure low impact and environmentally conscious design. Some challenges when it comes to OSRDs included ensuring meaningful open space design and low impact designs being challenges when it comes to permitting. Ownership and maintenance of open space, ultimately who's going to take on this piece of property. Larger parcels for subdivisions are incredibly rare, and that's something that we see throughout the entire region. And then there's an educational disconnect between higher density and what environmental protection truly means. Some of the developer and engineer takeaways include special permits not necessarily being more difficult than by right. The ease of permitting depends more on the planning board's flexibility and the required level of detail for the yield plan. A savings on construction costs is a worthwhile incentive for OSRDs, and then the surrounding open space does not increase home sales value. Some of the bylaw updates that we've been working on is, the purpose of this is to improve planning board oversight on the selection of conservation land to ensure it is valuable and usable to residents for recreation, and then encouraging low-impact design use by developers for better stormwater management. Ultimately, what we want to know as a commission is, what are your goals for these updates? Do you have, my understanding is that perhaps there was already some type of review of these bylaws. I'm really here to just listen to what you have to say, listen to all the questions, take in as much information as possible. I know going through your bylaw, it's quite a breadth, like a wealth of information. So I want to make sure that we are capturing everything that you do mention to us, and also through Lisa too. If you have any additional comments, we're more than happy to accept those via email as well. We're trying to make it as flexible as possible. And I don't want to just leave it as the conversation starts and ends here with you guys. I want you to feel comfortable in providing any information you feel is valuable and important for this.
Lisa, do you happen to have in your email the redlined copy that I had worked out?
I have it here. Let me just find it.
Thank you very much. I haven't comprehensively gone through it, but I went through it a bit. I have a few. Unfortunately, it was a handful of months ago that I was doing it. I don't remember.
Yeah, no worries. So through that, through all of our review, I just wanted to inform you that we did review the master plan from 2014, the open space and recreation plan that was conducted back in, I believe, 2021. Correct me if I'm wrong. From my understanding and previous communications, there's currently a stormwater bylaw that is being updated, and I believe there's a member in your audience whose name sounded incredibly familiar, so I'm not sure where that process is right now, but we did review the current stormwater bylaw just to have a better understanding in terms of what's included in there. We tried to be as broad with the language that is included here to be cognizant and understanding that you are going through that update right now. So there's no like specific to the T language of what is included in the updated language that is soon to, or potentially soon to be coming for the stormwater bylaw. We also reviewed a report that was conducted specifically for Dayton that included any low-impact development throughout town, the subdivision rules and regulations, and then lastly, Mass Autobahn's bylaw review for low-impact development is something that we took to use as a guide as to best practices of what ultimately can be included within a bylaw of this type to ensure that we are being a little more environmentally conscious.
So if you're able to download it, if you could text it to me, that way I could pull it up on my phone. I don't have access to Blue Mail. If you do find it, if you don't, it's okay.
Yeah. I'm
So-
gonna try to look.
Just to be, again, conscious of your time tonight, I will end the presentation there. I will provide this to Lisa as well. Feel free to go through any other additional information. I just want to make sure that you have ample time, again, to provide any questions, comments, feedback, any information, again, that you think is valuable, anything that if I'm unable to address, I can certainly circle back via Lisa to provide you with a response to that.
I did have there was one provision that does still stay top of mind, and it was probably, I don't even know, 4, 5, 6 months ago when we first looked at this. I apologize that
Yeah, it was quite some time ago.
It's good of a recall. I recall there was one section, it was like a points rubric that would allow you to increase the housing density based on the amount of points that you accumulated. I believe it was like a 10, a 15, and a 20%.
Yes, I do also have an extra
density increase.
copy, if that is on some of the back.
Oh, thank you. That was, are you familiar with the provision I'm talking about?
Yes.
So that's a provision I personally would be strongly opposed to. I'm not a fan of excessive cluster housing in general, and I don't want to see us gamifying and bending backwards to incentivize excessive cluster housing development. I also had concerns about the percentage of conservation land, ensuring that it's high-quality land, and also who's going to take ownership of it. There's obviously a lot of residents that might not be thrilled about being in an HOA, but at the same time, I have concerns about the town taking ownership sometimes, because I think oftentimes open space becomes community yard waste dumping area, right? But personally, when I saw the points rubric where you could accumulate more points in order to increase the density of housing, I personally would like to see that entire section struck completely.
Can I interject here for a minute?
Oh, please.
I see you get your paperwork. Okay, if there's a 100-acre plot and 50 acres is wetlands, for mathematical ease, let's say the normal zoning is 1 house per acre or 1 acre per house. So now they got 50 acres of uplands to use. Does that mean they can build 50 houses on that lot and have additional land set aside for roads and community? Or is this plan to say, oh, no, it's 100 acres to begin with, you can build 100 houses?
So I will say that is typically at the discretion of the town in terms of what direction you want to head in. That's where we're trying to accept as much feedback
Yeah.
as possible. The purpose of the cluster development is really to take the housing and like squish it down into, I'm
Because
trying to see if
it's-
I'm getting towards what
It's
you're
not,
asking.
it's just a win-win for the developer. If they can build 100 houses and just make it small lots, they make considerably more money because they're not cutting roads through the wetlands. They're just, I would, if you got 50 acres of good land and you might start saying, well, okay, maybe 50 houses, but now you gotta put in 5 acres of roadway, another 10 acres for ball fields and the rest, so now we got 35 houses. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? so they, can still get houses in there, but don't use the wetlands as an excuse to have more houses on the good land.
And, Mr. Chairman, Lisa actually did find some of my initial notes. Is it okay if I just share some
Sure.
of my feedback? And I haven't done a comprehensive dive, these are just reading through it, apparently back in May. So section 4332, section C, states the building should not be located within 100 feet of the wetlands. And that statement is reiterated in 4360, potentially among other places. I think the language should be updated to include buffer zones of all resource areas that are greater than 100 feet, such as vernal pools and any other resources that are beyond that. 4381, section 2, dealing with the net acreage calculation, subtracts for lakes, ponds, vernal pools, zone 1 and A. It also states wetlands delineated under the Wetland Protection Act. This should have clarification if the WPA provision includes buffer zones, but even if it does, since the WPA and local bylaw requirements are different, in my opinion, the language should be explicitly included that resource area buffer zones must be subtracted from the net acreage calculation along with wetland, lake, vernal pool itself. I don't see why we would be favorably calculating buffer zones as open space when there's space that needed to be left open anyway. Same with vernal pool migratory access corridors, which are protected under the bylaw. Those should be measured and subtracted from the net acreage calculation for any conservation subdivision application. And then 4470, the density bonus, I would like this entire provision scrapped completely. I understand that the intention is to incentivize more responsible development, but I'm skeptical that the benefits outweigh the risks of excessive cluster housing development in sensitive areas. And I would also wonder if it would be worthwhile to put in something confirming that approval by the planning board of a conservation subdivision does not exempt them from having to file with conservation. Does not guarantee approval of a project. Having an accepted conservation subdivision by the planning board does not necessarily mean that the project itself will be approved by the Conservation Commission. And I like the opportunity, and I'm grateful for the open channel of communication that we can reach out and communicate more in depth. But I saw a lot of things that I thought were concerning and frankly feels like greasing the track for excessive cluster housing development, which I don't think actually is conservation in name only, I feel in a lot of areas.
Would you be able to provide an emailed version of this? I just want to make sure I've
Oh,
captured
absolutely.
everything.
So
Okay, thank you.
I'm intending to go through the document and then use the markup tool to put, in Word to mark up all the specific provisions.
Thank you.
And yeah, absolutely.
I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was all I had. Thank you.
Could you go back to what you said, the developers say that their comments on this are so far?
Sure. So that included, special permits are not necessarily more difficult than by right. The ease of permitting depends more on the planning board's flexibility and the required level of detail for the yield plan. The savings on construction is a worthwhile incentive for these types of bylaws. And then the surrounding open space does not increase home sales value. I do want to just add on that these interviews actually took place before my time in Serpent, so if there's any specific questions related to this work, I'm happy to take it back to staff that perhaps we did have at the time that was conducting these interviews.
Yeah, there's another one, as far as by right? I would be strongly opposed to by right as well. That should have to remain
Email you guys.
by special permit.
Yeah, I did. Michelle, can you do me a favor? Can you email these changes again to me so they're
Yes.
fresh in my email and I'll send them to the guys again?
Absolutely. Will
And
do.
so, I think in talking with Carrie from the planning board, the special town meeting is November 6th. I'm not really sure they think they're gonna have this for that meeting.
Yes, so I know it's been, from my understanding, this bylaw update has been quite some time coming. It's been kind of a multi-year process. Understanding the town meeting process, there needs to be, I'm sure warrant articles need to be provided to the appropriate staff well in advance, and other information related to educational opportunities need to be provided as well. I don't believe that this would be, I definitely don't think that this will be something that will be ready, quite frankly, for your next town meeting.
Yeah.
But I'm hopeful that perhaps sometime in the future and when the town is ready, if you are, whenever, or if you do feel comfortable in moving something like this forward, we'll be happy to work with you in terms of providing you with any of the materials, any developer guides, as well as a more finalized and formal draft bylaw update. So that's where right now we're just doing a tour with all of the several different boards and committees and commissions.
Okay. Yeah, and I concur, especially with Paul's comment about deducting the resources from the open space calculation. Has any other town brought that up to you guys? Or?
I can certainly check in with the other town that we have worked, we're working on this with is Middleborough. I can certainly check in with staff just
I
to see.
can call Tricia.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she'll be able to, I'm sure she'll have an open dialogue with you on that. Aside from that, I have not worked closely with other towns right now. I think these are just the first two that we've
Okay.
done this type of work for, but Trish she's wonderful, so.
Yeah.
More than happy to.
We went to
have you
high
connect
school
with her.
and college together, so
Oh,
I know
nice.
her pretty good. Thank you. All right.
Yeah.
You're all set?
If you're all set, I am all set.
Okay, very good, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, next on the agenda, we have Council Oak Ways. We have the lease agreement for the Arujo Farms to rent that land. Does anyone know how many, the acreage on that land? Just out of curiosity.
See if I can hop on the GIS map real quick.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so what we have an agreement already printed up from our town coordinator and
Town administrator.
and it's all ready to be signed. It's with the fee amount and the works, and the fee will be paid to the Conservation Commission, since we were the ones who purchased this land. Okay, is there a motion to extend the lease, map 17, lot 136, to Arujo Farms? So moved.
Mr. Rujo did want to continue it too, by the way. I did invite him. Well, I sent the agenda off to him.
Okay, the motion was made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay.
And that parcel is,
Oh, yeah.
looks like 6 acres, 6.02 acres.
Okay,
If it's this one on 0 Council Oak Way, map 17, lot 136.
Yeah. That's what it is.
okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a good night.
Correspondence, Lisa, we
Yeah.
really don't have much here on correspondence.
Yeah, we do. Wow. We had the complaint that was filed.
Okay, on Beach Street.
We
All right,
just, yeah.
I've been there 3 times at that site. All 3 times there were Canada geese. Once there was white ducks involved. There were feathers everywhere, a lot of the white feathers in the marsh, but,
Yeah.
you know, I don't know what to say. I mean, certainly it's a Board of Health problem, more so than our problem. Because if the ducks weren't there, the geese would be there. Unless someone has an early Thanksgiving dinner. A lot of them.
I guess the big question is whether it's in land and agricultural use or not.
Now, it would have to be, what, a commercial farm with the minimum gross revenue requirement of, I forget how much, $5,000 or whatever it is.
So that's the big question.
Okay, so
And if it's not, I mean, I believe,
it's not, it can't be a commercial farm.
I believe the urine is affecting that wetland.
Oh, I'm sure it is. But what I'm saying is, if the residents didn't have ducks, there'd be more geese. If I saw the geese 3 out of 3 times,
Good question. Well, I mean, do you guys want to contact him and ask him to come to the next meeting to just have a conversation with us?
Concerning, a commercial farm for those ducks. To see if they have a commercial farm.
But how do you want me to approach it? Do you want me to write a letter? Do you want me to invite him to the office to discuss it informally?
No, I mean, the place is, I mean, it is, not nice. And I can imagine all the, bacteria from the waste. I mean, we know what geese do to a ball field, and, ducks are gonna do the same thing. And, I mean, certainly, that makes it, a health problem, which they're dodging their responsibility, I think.
A lot of ducks.
The woman said 100. When I saw the ducks, I saw a half dozen to a dozen ducks, white ones. The geese, it's whenever they come in. Are the geese there all the time? I mean, I'm sure if it was there, you know, if you didn't want geese, you could have a dog out there and it would be duck-free. But,
Maybe one of those wolves that they put in the field.
yeah, I see that, I've seen that. Or a real one.
He'll eat the ducks.
No, but what I'm saying is, I don't know their reasoning for having as many ducks as they do. Is it a commercial farming, or is it just for home use? Eggs, I don't know how ducks are laying eggs compared to chickens.
Probably buy them all the time.
They're larger and they're better for baking. I do know that.
Sorry?
They're larger and better for baking. I do know that.
Nice and thick.
Yeah,
I eat them like chicken eggs.
yeah. It's like having like
All
four
right,
of one.
okay, so any suggestions on how we approach this?
I'd say starting with a invitation to an informal conversation with Lisa would be a bad place.
Okay.
Because I'm not 100% convinced that we would even really have jurisdiction in this matter anyway.
I know.
I think that maybe diplomacy wins the day on this one.
Maybe make some suggestions as far as maybe scare off.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes?
Back again. A resident down there had water samples tested. I assume you've all got copies.
She has talked to us.
Coliform and E. coli, which are the major pollutants in all our water bodies. It was left for the Stormwater Committee, and in looking into it and remembering the site visits we made, and I think you were there, the solution to the problem is to drain the water. The water and the ditch that would drain it are on private property. We were down there, Lisa was there, I think Jim Aguirre, Tom Ferry, anyhow, the owners of the property, or at least one of them. It was explained, if they will grant an easement, the town will put in a pipeline in the ditch. The water will be drained out and go into the town's system. They refused to grant an easement. When a property owner says no, the only board that can take action, I believe, is the Board of Selectmen through eminent domain. And this is what I said when it came to us. It's truly not a stormwater issue, although we've been down there and looked at it. The Board of Health got the same information the rest of us have.
Yeah.
But when the property owner says no, then you go to the court to get the eminent domain. The thing is, if an owner grants an easement, there's a payment to the owner. The pipe will be put in the ground, it'll drain the water, and the town, through Mr. Ferry, is willing to do this. But the holdup is permission to do on that individual's property.
What happens if the person who owns the ducks says, oh, we want that water there because the ducks swim in it?
Well, I think that there's a different question there. I mean, I don't think under health regulations, you can have something that is polluted and a detriment to the public health.
No, I know, but so that really comes down to a Board of Health issue, not an issue for us, because we, I
I
understand
don't
the
know
problem.
why it's before you, in all honesty. Because, I mean, when I was down there, it was somebody's backyard, okay?
Yeah,
And we looked at it from a stormwater position, only to see what can we do. And it was Mr. Ferry who said, this is what I propose, okay?
yeah.
And, but the whole thing is, whether or not you pursue it, you, the town, not you, whether or not the town of Dayton pursues it as a health issue, public health issue, or as trying to get an easement, you're talking legal action. Because I don't know how many times there have been meetings, there have been different complaints. A number of the residents down there have contacted me personally, this latest thing where the lab tests of the polluted water. But, so again, my position is, quite frankly, it's not stormwater. And in order for anything to happen, the town, I believe, would have to take legal action, and none of us have the authority to do that.
I concur with you. Excuse me. I'm against putting chemicals in anything, but in some cases I can see where it's necessary. Is it possible that they could reduce this coliform bacteria with a chemical to bring it down to acceptable levels? Because I know that if you have a well, when they're first driven, a lot of wells do show up with the same bacteria, coliform and a few others initially, and they shock it and they basically kill it off. Now, maybe I know that people some years back, I don't know if it's even legal, I know nothing about chemicals, but they used to have a chemical they used to add to lakes to keep certain things from
The algae.
The algae.
Yeah.
Salt what's up a pond every year.
Excuse me?
Salt what's up a pond every year.
Same thing, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, but that's,
Think-
the Watapa Pond,
But again, that pond, the north pond is the reservoir.
right,
The south pond is recreation. But it was, I believe, the combined government of Fall River and Westport, and whoever else abuts that, maybe Tiverton. That's how the south pond was treated. But I don't believe that the town could go onto someone's property or order them to add chemicals to that.
No,
No, the chemicals, I would say no, unless you want to go there with a stir and keep those chemicals in
No, but-
circulation.
it's missable.
But
It'll
I
straighten
did
out.
speak with DEP about the matter,
And?
and if something, we cannot allow an alteration to a wetland, and this is not a permittable activity. So if it is not LIAU, land and agricultural use, then it's enforceable. We need to tell them they need to stop allowing it to happen.
But then again, so if they were to take their ducks out, then geese would go in.
Right, it's just picking which waterfowl source of bacteria you want in them.
That's why the drainage that was proposed.
No, I hear you very clearly.
So, I just want you to know, it's not a stormwater issue, and our position is, we know what the solution is. The town, through Mr. Ferry, is willing to do what needs to be done to get the water out to the system.
It can still be a wetland, but it just won't be,
It-
it won't have standing water.
It'd be a permanent drainage solution, and when it rains and all that, it's gonna drain like.
Okay, so that really falls on the selectmen to take action.
Because, again, whether the Board of Health can take action or the Board of Selectmen decides, you've got to have legal action because the individuals who own the property, we've discussed it, different boards have discussed it, we've been on site. The answer is no. So to me, with the problems that have continued literally for years, I think my first site visit was 2015 when I came back to the board. But I think that's the solution. And again, once that's in the ground, it's going to be covered. It's not going to be a nightmare. And I would hope it's going to improve the neighborhood.
Yeah.
I'm not telling you everyone's going to be happy,
Okay.
but
I have a question without, and I don't wanna, I don't know anybody's names down there, and I don't want you to mention if you do know.
no, I won't mention it.
This drainage would not be on the people who have the ducks, right? It's not on their land, it's on somebody else's land.
It comes from their land, under the road.
The ditch is on the, let's see, if you're facing the river and you're driving down Beach Street, the property we're talking about is on the left, and as I remember, the ditch is on the left side of Beach Street, and it's their property.
So it's the property who owns the ducks,
Correct.
where the drainage would be.
Yes. Well, the drainage would come from there, yes, and
So
go,
they don't want it drained
And
so
go
that
west.
the ducks can swim.
I don't know what the
I
reason.
never heard that. All I can tell
Oh,
you
no,
is-
I don't know, I'm just throwing that out.
I don't know the reason why they would not want the town to solve this problem. There have been other problems down there where we've worked with them, 2015 or 16, whatever it was. And they were cooperative. But there's a lot of agitation in the neighborhood. And, years ago, one of the selectmen suggested the solution was to the town to take over all the roads in the park. And I was the only selectman that said absolutely not. And the people that were there that night, I mean, I should have been running for something because I got all kinds of applause. But the fact of the matter is, we're not trying to create world peace down the park. We're trying to address, as best we can, something that is a health issue.
Yeah.
It's a nuisance, and there's a viable solution that's not going to cost them a lot of money. And an easement means you still own the land, but they aren't going to have to do anything. And with an appraisal, they'll get some money for the easement. I mean, that's how we do land taking for bridges and stuff. So I think it's a reasonable approach.
Okay, we will have you go and inform them and talk it out.
I will speak to the town administrator.
Okay.
I'll tell him that I was here tonight, you can watch the minutes. I'll tell him that a resident had lab testing done, dropped a copy off in my little folder at the assessor's
We've seen
office.
that already.
Well, when I looked at it, and I discussed it with Mr. Ferry, I said, it's not a stormwater problem. And
Yeah.
Tom, these are the common pollutants that we have to list on the MS4. Thank goodness this town, at this point in time, since reporting on these MS4 every year, which we'll be doing shortly, you have to indicate the major waterways. None of our major waterways have pollutants other than bacteria, which is coliform and E. coli, okay? And quite frankly, it's usually from septic systems. But it's just a shame because there is a solution.
If people start getting sick, that would be a major problem. For the town having no action.
Well, and the Department of Public Health, I think, could order the town to do something. And what I'm saying is, we have the solution, we've had it for a couple of years, but somebody's got to enforce it, and it's gonna take legal action.
So the State Department of Health then could override anything and everything?
If there's, the Department of Public Health and the Board of Health has very strong powers, obviously. And I don't think we should have to wait for the state to come in and say, Town of Dayton, you've got to do something. That's what happened on the federal level when we were ordered to put the sewage in the north end. It was the EPA. We know the problem. We know the solution. Tommy's willing to do it, and it's not going to cost a fortune. But without permission of the property owner, you can't do it.
That's what I'm looking at. Could the state tell that individual they have to have it?
I doubt it. It's a local issue. And the fact that the town has not taken any action, meaning the normal route you would go. If we needed a parcel of land because we were going to build a bridge, and the owner said, absolutely not. When I first started with the big bridge, I said to David Gay, okay, he taught me all about easements. I said, what happens if somebody on this side of the river says, no? He said, the property is appraised. If they say no, the project moves on. You take them to court, it's eminent domain, and that's it. You go to court and say, this is the appraised value of the easement. If the person says it's not enough, you say to them, and again I'm quoting David Gay, this is what we're going to pay you. If you want to pursue further payment, you take us to court. Most places don't do that. So what I'm
Actually,
saying is,
there isn't any taking. There is no taking there because all it is going to be a pipe under the ground. The pipe's going to be covered up and...
exactly. And when you talk easements, there are permanent easements, there are temporary easements, and there are land taking. Only land takings means the town buys it and owns it, like the river bottom up to the channel marker. That's our boundary. All right, we own that. There are 2 slivers of land under that bridge that are underwater most of the time, but they're on the deeds for the county. So the county said, we'll sell them to you. We said, we'll give you $1 for each of them. Because should there be an accident on the bridge, the county doesn't want to get sued. So there are 2 slivers of land that are underwater most of the time. We paid $1 each for. Those are permanent. They belong to the town. All of the land on both sides of the roads that the county donated to us, those were temporary easements. Because when we're all done, it goes back to them. The permanent easements that we have are the sidewalks, okay? The sidewalks, even the extension we did from the garage up to the 138, those are permanent. It means the sidewalks belong to the town. The town can go in and make repairs or dig them up or whatever. The land under those easements belongs to the property owner. And their deed shows there's a permanent easement to the town of Dayton for a sidewalk. And we paid for all of those. It's not a difficult process. Quite frankly, I never ran into anybody in all the bridges I worked on who said, no. They just went very well. And this is a small amount.
Okay. No. All right, well, go ahead.
Just in the interest of keeping the meeting moving, since I don't think there's really anything that we can do tonight, I'd like to propose a motion to just notify the town administrator's office of the situation and request that he confer with the Board of Selectmen to examine all available options up to and including eminent domain.
And I will speak to him personally.
Okay.
I'll probably put something in writing. I'll talk to Tom about what stormwater involvement was, and...
Did you make that as a motion?
Yes.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. That'd be great. Thank you very much, Nancy.
Okay, and we'll inform Lisa when she comes out. Let's go to application for perk location test and preliminary sign-off with Board of Health. Lisa, you're gonna write a letter to the town administrator. We'll tell you in a minute or two.
Why don't we talk about it Tuesday?
Yeah, for him to, okay.
We could talk about it Tuesday, but yeah, there's 2 more items on the agenda.
Application for perk location? Why don't you tell us about that?
Yeah, Dave and I attended the Board of Health meeting, and I'm not sure that the Board of Health understands that we have a local bylaw that, they tabled the request to have us review perks for repairs. The positive thing that came out of the meeting was I was able to have a conversation, because Jerry Bernard, the engineer that's working for them, consulting with them, he was there. So I was able to have a good conversation, positive conversation back and forth during the meeting with him. And they suggested that we talk, so I've been showing up at perks.
Okay.
Thank you.
To
All right,
not go out of the, to not charge the, because they have to pay for his time.
I'm glad you're doing that.
Thank you, and I will note that there was some perks done on a new lot on Wheeler. And I measured, Dave and I measured, I was there when they were happening. Unfortunately, I got the request to review the locations on Tuesday, and on the following Monday, I was told that they were scheduled for the next day. So I didn't have, luckily I went out that Monday with Dave and we walked the whole edge. It was a 7-acre parcel. And I was okay with the delineation. And so therefore I said, the perks can proceed, but they have to proceed in that location. Unfortunately, I don't think they were paying attention to the locations of the wetland flags, because some of the perks happened 80 feet away. So I called the soil evaluator and I told them they need to be surveyed so they know that they can't use that perk.
Funny how that happens.
Yeah. So, we just keep fighting the good fight, and I can appreciate that the Board of Health is at least listening to us now. I told them I'm not coming back to the meeting next month.
Okay, all right, we all set?
No, Eagle Scout project.
Okay, he's not here,
He
nobody's
didn't show
here.
up, I'm not gonna present it.
No,
But we
nothing.
would like, if he would like to come to the next meeting to present it, that
That's
would be
correct.
great. And then one more thing, National Grid sent us a notification on some yearly operational plans of right-of-ways that are gonna be treated. So, they're going to do some vegetation management and apply some herbicides. If anybody would like any more information about that, I have the information. They can contact the MDAR Rights of Way Vegetation Management Pesticide Bureau at 251 Causeway Street, Suite 500, Boston, Mass. 02114-2151, and the phone number is 617-626-1782, and I have an email here, our website, if anyone would like to contact National Grid and has questions about what they're doing. That's it. Our
Okay.
next meeting, September 18th.
All right, motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Seconded, all in favor? Aye. Okay, I'm gonna give Kenny a